Supply chain threats. Before talk about threats, we need to understand the supply chain flow. So we have the producer, that is who produced the code. We have the source, that is the source code. Then the next stage is the build. And there's this alternative part that is the dependencies that can be included in the build stage. And then the software is packaged and then is released to be used by a consumer. To understand this flow, you can visit salsa.dev or slsa.dev. Salsa, or supply chain levels for software artifacts, it's a security framework, a checklist of standards and controls that helps to prevent tampering, improve integrity, and secure packages and infrastructure. Let's focus in the first part. Source threats or source integrity threats. A source integrity threat is a potential for an adversary to introduce a change to the source code that does not reflect the intent of the software producer. This includes the threat of an authorized individual introducing an unauthorized change. In other words, it's usually an insider threat. That means somebody that works for the software developer company. We have three different types of threats here. The first is submit unauthorized change. Is when an adversary introduces a change through the official source control management interface, let's say GitHub, without any special administrator privileges. The best way to mitigate is two-person review the unauthorized changes. The attack B, or the threat B, compromise source repo, is when an adversary introduces a change to the source control repository through an administrative interface or through a compromise of the infrastructure. One of the examples, it was the compromise to PHP SRC repo in 2021 when the two main developers, they sent a message saying that the server was compromised. That means that the infrastructure was compromised. What is the mitigation? A better protect source code platform. That means good user management, patch management, vulnerability management, and the other security controls that we have to secure infrastructure. The attack C, or build from modified source, is when an adversary builds from a version of the source code that does not match the official source control repository. Here we have several ways, like build from an unofficial fork of code, build from unofficial branch or tag, build from unofficial build steps, build from unofficial parameters, or build from modified versions of code, modified after checkout. One example, your package is supposed to be built from GitHub repo, like github.com/good/mypackage. Instead, it is built from github.com/evolfork/mypackage. What is a good mitigation? Implement a process to verify and reject this commit because the source location does not match with the authorized source.